I've seen it happen way too often. Someone grabs the cheapest beverage cooler they can find, only to end up with a unit that rattles, freezes the drinks, or just refuses to hold a consistent temperature. By the time you've dug the fridge out of the basement, swapped the shelves, and wasted a weekend, the regret really sticks. That's why I wanted to see if the Kegco 24-inch wide stainless steel beverage center actually feels like a smarter buy, or if it's just another flashy box that looks good on paper. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. From the moment I started researching this segment, a few things kept popping up in the forums. People need a cooler that can handle a small party setup, a home bar, or a dedicated wine rack without taking up a whole wall. At the same time, they're wary of the hidden costs: noisy fans, temperature swings, and LED lighting that ends up being more of a distraction than a feature. The Kegco unit promises metal ball-bearing shelves, a digital control panel that lets you set the temperature anywhere from 32 to 64 F, energy-efficient Truvino cooling, and customizable LED lighting with 9 colors and 5 brightness levels. Those sound like the right ingredients for a hassle-free experience, but let's break down exactly what that means when you actually plug it in. First off, the design is clearly meant for versatility. The dimensions, just under 34 inches tall and about 23.4 inches wide, fit comfortably in a standard kitchen alcove, a basement bar, or even a freestanding corner of a living room. The right hinge door swings outward, which is a subtle but useful detail if you have a narrow space. You won't be fighting against a door that tries to open into a wall. The stainless steel exterior gives it a polished look that doesn't scream appliance. It blends in whether you're aiming for a modern aesthetic or a more rustic bar vibe. The heavy-duty ball-bearing shelves are where the real functional difference shows up. Because the shelves glide smoothly, you can rearrange bottles, cans, or even a few small growlers without worrying about them getting stuck or scraping against plastic tracks. In practice, that means you can load a case of craft beer one night, pull out a few bottles of wine the next, and still keep everything organized without a hassle. Temperature control is the heart of any beverage cooler, and the digital panel on the Kegco is both simple and precise. Setting it to 38 F for white wine, then nudging it up to 45 F for a collection of craft ales is as easy as a few taps. The Truvino cooling technology claims to be energy efficient, which, in real-world terms, translates to a quieter operation and lower electricity bills. I tested this by running the unit overnight while the house thermostat sat at 70 F. The cooler's fan stayed at a low hum, and the temperature inside the unit stayed within a degree or two of the set point. No sudden spikes or drops that you commonly see with cheaper models. That steadiness is crucial if you're storing delicate wines that can be ruined by temperature swings, or if you simply want your beers ready to pop at a consistent chill. Now, let's talk about the LED lighting. The unit offers 9 colors, from a classic cool blue to a warm amber, and 5 brightness levels. On the surface, that seems like a fun party trick, and it does add a nice ambience if you're hosting a tasting night or a small gathering. However, there's a practical angle that's easy to overlook. If you're using the cooler in a kitchen or a space where you want the interior to be clearly visible, the brighter settings can actually help you see the labels without opening the door. On the flip side, the constant glow, especially the more saturated colors, might be a bit much for a bedroom or a dimly lit lounge where you prefer a subtle look. The good news is you can dial the brightness down or switch to a neutral white, which makes the lighting more functional than decorative. Who should actually consider this cooler? If you're a home entertainer who likes to keep a rotating selection of wines, craft beers, or even a few specialty sodas on hand, the Kegco 24-inch makes sense. Its size strikes a balance between capacity and footprint, so you can store roughly 3,040 standard bottles plus a handful of cans without feeling cramped. The smooth shelves make it easy to reorganize on the fly, which is a boon for people who enjoy experimenting with different combinations. The precise temperature range also means you can fine-tune the environment for various beverages, from delicate whites that need a cooler temperature to robust reds that benefit from a slightly warmer setting. Lastly, the energy-saving claim isn't just marketing fluff. The low-noise fan and consistent temperature mean you won't be shocked by a surprise electric bill at the end of the month. Conversely, This isn't the best fit for someone looking for a massive bulk storage solution or a dedicated wine cellar. If you're planning to keep a full